No way. Really? It says I'm just sharing it right now. You can hear it, but you can't see it.
I can't hear
What?
it. I can't hear it. I
What?
can't see it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, hold up. What if I pull up the
That's
show? Stream failed to start.
Oh, is it just still failing to start?
That's what it's telling me on my end. It's because
Hmm.
Discord sucks. It is because Discord sucks.
It exactly because Discord sucks. What if I just stream an application? I guess just like for now, Steam it doesn't matter. Maybe it just doesn't like entire screen. This won't do anything right now because I still need to stream my screen, but we'll see. Does this still not work?
Hold up, hold up. Yeah, it's still not working on my end.
Why?
Hold up, hold up. I'm gonna see if me streaming works.
Yeah, well, let's see if yours. We'll see.
If my
I
stream
can see
works,
your
and your
screen.
stream works. Okay, what?
In
But
no
your stream just
way.
doesn't work?
What the hell? Okay, well, let me see if I can restart Discord. Otherwise, I guess we use your stream. Be right back.
Yep, that's goat. That's goat.
Go. Okay. Hello. Saw this.
Yeah, surely it works this
It's
time.
like a PowerPoint because interesting. Okay, does it work now?
Um, yeah, no, still nothing for me.
This game sucks. Why?
Gonna throw a fit.
I'm gonna blame it on Linux because I've had some like weird bugs and stuff.
Mhm.
It's
You know what?
completely not
That's
my fault.
actually probably fair. It probably is just Linux.
Yeah, I might have not like updated or something. All right, Ping, you're streaming, I guess.
Okay. Roger, roger. Wait, hold on. Wait, why can I not share my screen anymore?
Hello? Ain't no way.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna disconnect and just put me back in code.
Is this scuff? I hate Discord.
Yo, okay. Genuinely, like, what is wrong with Discord? Like, why
Could
can't
be
I not share my
borderless
screen?
full screen of TF2. I'm streaming my whole screen because of Linux stuff. So
Okay, wait, there we go, there we go.
like it should be like an application thing. Oh,
Mhm.
your stream's there.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Okay. Alright, well, for now you can spectate me since a good
Oh,
chunk of
okay.
the talk is just not. I will need like a second person for now. Um, Stage started. Did I start the stage? Not going. Is it official? Thank you, pizza.
Yep. So supportive.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I think we're also streaming fine, hopefully from TF2CC staff, but I think we're good. So I will start. Hello, I am Rui. I am one of the coaches for Disney Cup. I I just played uh this past season of RJL. Got to top four intermediate, so I know what I'm talking about, kinda. But like people are better than me, which is why I have Ping, who's better than me and a better medic than I am. She's played main, which is one division higher. I I have her right now for just consulting, but also as a body, just because I might need some things to showcase with two people. So yeah. All right, I'll get us started. Just the first part is just gonna be like general, like just me talking, yapping about whatever about medics and whatever their stats are and what to do and what to think and stuff. And I'll leave the floor open for Q and A at the end of the talk. It might be like after scrim time starts, so if someone needs to go, that's fine. But yeah, everything will be recorded, I think. So yeah, we should be good. So Medic. Your loadout will be the Crusader's crossbow, nothing else. All these suck. Your medigun and either the Solemn Vow or the Urza. Um, hard emphasis on the Solemn Vow because you will never get an Urza unless the team you're going against is just worse. Which in that case, there's no point. So please, Solemn Vow is great. You can see enemy health and medic uber percentage. So it gives you a lot of info when it comes to what to shoot for your teammates to shoot. And if you like lose track of the uber or it's like a very tense situation and you can like spot their uber and see like, oh, we might have like 10% ad like right now and like in their face, maybe we can use on them and it might be good. So that info is going to be very valuable for your team to make decisions. So that's why Salamba is awesome. Who cares about the floor firing speed? Like, I'm not gonna swing this twice. But yeah, Crusader's crossbow, like everyone knows, but or hopefully you know now that you're here. But if you don't know, kills from a distance up to like around like 140 HP from like max range or something. It's kind of crazy, and deals a total an upwards of 35 damage at max range. So this thing is not just a good healer, but also kind of deadly. This does not mean that you're a damage class and you will get like 200 DPM just by spamming arrows because you're gonna make your team lose the game. But it is good on a pin and very valuable. Now, medic class. What are we doing with this guy? Who is this guy even? He's German apparently. So we are a light class with 150% 150 HP. We are the only main healer in this game. There's two ways of healing that are like without unlocks, which is you and your engineer with your dispenser. We're not gonna talk about the engineer because we are not the engineer. We have the crossbow for long range and the medigun for short range. The the medigun is your primary form of healing and will be how you build your Uber the most. The medigun also gives you access to overheal, or as we call in sixes in the department of sixes, buffs. Buffs are basically just an over. They are yeah, they're just the overheal of your teammate. It will go up to 50% more of their max HP. So a good example is your soldier has 200 HP. The 50% of 200 is 100. So your soldier will get a buff maximum of 300 HP. It's very good. Buffs are always very good to hand out if you can, because they make your team way more survivable at everything. And one more stat, you are the second fastest class in the game, only behind by Scout. You are faster than everything else besides Spy. Both of you are at the same speed. So you will outrun most classes in this game. Not the Scout though, because that class is busted. And so he needs to have the speed. Otherwise he just insta-explode. But yes. Just so you can have a little bit more survivability as a medic. As the medic, you, as we said before, are basically just the main healer. Specifically in sixes, you are the only healer, which in that case, there's just no there's no dispenser anywhere. So you are the most important class in the game. You're the only person that can give this value. So it is wise for you to just stay as healthy as possible and living as much as possible. It is the most important aspect of your role. So if you're gonna take anything from this, don't just run in and die for the hell of it. You are not a fighter. Even with the damage we talked about with the crossbow. You make your team, you bolster your team by healing them and making them live longer. What a scout with 185 HP is much deadlier than a scout with 125 HP. It only classes can still do an upwards of like 100 damage per shot, so it will be like a 2-shot. Normally, that's not gonna happen. So that extra health and leniency for your scouts and for the rest of your team is gonna be very important for them to live. Got some water here because I need to talk more. Okay. If your coaches haven't talked to you about the rollout yet, I will talk about the heal order. Ping, don't come to red last. You're part of this now.
Got you, teammate.
And also, I have no clip, so you can just upload.
That's fine. I'll walk. I'll be nice as
You'll just walk
fuck. Yeah, I'll just walk.
with your little legs. Where are you?
I'm at spawn.
Oh shit! Hi. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, bad example, but for your roulette, you will be healing the demo. At the start, everyone should be jumping, and everyone that isn't your demo or your pocket soldier should be just crouching. Because we need to heal our demo as fast as possible so they can do a sticky jump. You need to keep them buffed until 260, twice. So once you're able to move, that's when I want you to start healing your roamer, which will be like behind you, probably sometime, up to 300, and then you will heal your scouts. Taxi them. Sometimes in a lot of maps, we'll be able to give your roamer a rebuff. In process, it's gonna be around here, but you don't just like run at them if they're slow or whatever, or they're too fast. If they don't want it, then it's fine. At the end of the rollout, you just hit an arrow on your pocket soldier, then you give him 300. Then you put him in. Huge. Now that we're in the game, it's a lot of things to talk about. But I want to talk about specifically who to heal, when and why, and where and why. we I'm assuming you've already talked about events, Uber ad and Uber disad when it comes to situations in the game or the mid fight in general. Mid fights are a lot more complicated and they're a lot more variable than anything. I just want you to think about this. Soldiers most likely most often will need arrows. Scouts will only need medigun unless they are standing still and are like 1 HP, which in that case an arrow is fine. And your demo can get like a hybrid of both. So just everywhere in general, try to be only arrowing your soldiers as much as like if anything, and try to beam your scouts and your demo as much as possible because your soldiers are going to be like running away from you anyways. They're going to be jumping around doing whatever the hell. So they are of no uh they just you don't worry about them right now. They'll be okay probably.
Probably.
Hello, Cooper. So normally around like a mid fight, you're just going to be healing your scout, your demo. But the main part I want to talk about right now is what to do in each Uber state. So whenever we are playing defensive, so if you want to hold a choke or something, either if we're a stalemate or we are playing like maybe we're like a person down or something, I want you to be healing your soldiers as much as possible and your demo because they are the explosives and can hold doors the best. And if you want to push at some point, or if maybe a soldier is bombing you, don't be afraid to be beaming your scout because he gives you good speed. It'll let you clear a lot of gaps a lot easier and a lot of jumps, and will make you it'll make it easier for you to dodge in general. So because you get the scout speed from your beam, I forgot to talk about that. So this is why scout at this point is the most like important class in sixes besides the medic. Gone are the days of a pocket soldier with shotgun because scout now just makes the game way faster because it lets you taxi your medic all the. It's awesome. Um, in general, in a team fight, scouts are very good at just in a chaos fight, or whatever. So I'm always trying to beam them as much as possible. If my demo is like 260, like full buff, and then they need help, then I'll gladly just like beam my scout as they walk around killing everything. Yeah. Before during downtimes and stalemates when nothing is happening, don't be afraid to buff other players. Like if your flank is just standing around waiting for a buff, then don't be afraid to just buff them right now so they can start being aggressive and whatever. And this mostly applies to your soldiers that are going to be jumping away from you like as soon as possible. So if you're gonna do anything, like if you're gonna be ready to push something or be ready to like pressure for something, I want you to think about your flank first, then your pocket soldier, and then your scout and your demo. These two are mostly going to be playing together, and your pocket soldier is kind of like a flex class, so it's good to have them buff like before that because they are the first person to jump away from you after in your combo. So Ubers, you become shiny. We all
Oh,
know this. They're incredibly powerful, and in casual they demolish teams. In sixes, It is what the entire basis of the game is around. So when we talk about Uber, obviously we have add events in this ad. Add is when you have Uber before them. Events is when you both are gonna have Uber in like around the same time. It could be like a difference between 5%, but that's basically events. And this ad when you're not gonna have and they have basically. Your build rate will be around, well, your optimal build rate is 40 seconds. This is never gonna happen. But if you're like hard building super hard, you might get it to 40 seconds. Normally it's gonna be around like 50 seconds, maybe, in general. But we use 40 seconds as just uh a baseline because it is the highest and fastest way to build. You build with your scout. Your scout should know this. You should they should be at 170% of their health, random number. Basically, they should be either like barely unbuffed or they should be like at around like 160 HP. Doesn't matter. But as long as they're building and they're not just like full buff the whole time while you're building, then you're basically building like ultimate. So it's okay. Um, Uber is very important to track because we want to know whenever we're at or disat, which is which makes our decision making uh superior and what our decision making is based like around. So how to track Ubers? The way I do it, I'll just get rid of the Uber. So the way I do it is based off of spawns. If you look at the top of your screen, you'll see for now me and Pink because we're the only ones here. But you can see our healths and you can see whenever we're dead. You can also you with this match HUD you can see when their medic is dead. So if you're alive and their medic respawns, you check your percentage and that's your ad. Whether it be 5%, 10%, 30%, or full ad. Maybe 50. That's your ad basically. This is not always going to be a case. Maybe the medic lives, but roughly when you use before them, it will always be at some point, at some magnitude or another. It just depends on how early they used, how close to each other you used. But if you use in like the same point, like the same time, basically, that's gonna be even. But let's say like you guys push, it fails, and then you back out and you're still alive, and then they Uber, then oh hey, we have like 50 ad because they took like a long time to push or whatever. That's your ad. Basically, check for whether their medic either just respawned or their Uber just ended, and that's your ad. Events is pretty easy. If you both use at the same time or you both spawn together, then events. Yippee! This ad. This is the hardest I would say to track when it comes to anything. Normally, uh, I like to section Ubers into like blocks of 10 seconds and 25% ad. If 40 seconds is the 100%, then 20 seconds is 50%. Basic math. So normally like spawn cycles are around 8-15 seconds maybe, so I like to use that sort of parameter. If you're spawning in 8 seconds and their medic just spawned, then you have 10% this set. I think it's 15. I used around 50. If you're spawning in 20 seconds or you're like spawning in 50 and they've already been alive for like 5 seconds, then that's your 50% this set. Um, so yeah, that's uh that's how I like to track Ubers. It's just looking at the spawn timer, kind of mathing it out. It's a bit hard to just like math it out like during the game. So the numbers that I use the most is either 15% this set if it's like kind of close, 30% as a general basis, and 50% if like they just used and I just died and stuff like that. You'll get way better at this, and you'll see more examples of like easier numbers to track as you play. But those are like the baselines that I use. Ubers fundamentals. I'm already there actually. That's my section. When to use. So medic because the Uber is very tied to just the general sixes like fundamentals itself. A lot of the things I'm going to be telling you about are going to be very tied to your sixes fundamentals like already. So don't you're going to be thinking about a lot of things like already. aside from your scouts and demos that are just gonna think about rocket jump, shoot, then position. Because you need to think of like Ubers and when to use and stuff like that. So there are basically two main ways of using your Uber. You either use offensively. Actually, there's three ways. I lied. Well, technically two ways, and like one has like two ways, but like basically you're either using offensively to either catch players. Maybe they don't have yet. You have ad and they don't like have Uber yet. You try to catch their medic. You use it to them, and then boom, you run them down. Normally, we like to have whoever wants to lead the Uber call it. It could be the Pocket Scout or it could be the demo. Normally, when we are playing Uber ad and we want to do a push like that, we like to use on our demo first so they can do a sticky jump, and then they go flying. Then I like to flash my scout, and my scout lets me catch up to my demo so I can reflash. Yes, you can Uber multiple people. You probably already know about Ubering multiple people, but yeah, we're calling starting like a targeting like a different person. We're called that flashing. Normally that takes off like half a second of Uber time. Normally your Ubers are around 8 seconds. So your Ubers are gonna be roughly around like 6.97 seconds, whatever. I don't know. Log says something like that. So yeah. The kind of like second slash first point type of like way to use is an exchange. This happens during events holds, um, and they're mostly used to buy time or to get some sort of advantage when it comes to like the situation. Because there are various ways and various like ads and disads in this game. You might have more people alive than your team. You might have more health alive than the other team, or the classic Uber ad could be in play. But right now we're talking about even. So in an exchange, two medics just use into each other, and then you guys just like stare at each other, and then something happens. Your scouts will have different notes on what to do in this. That's not your problem. You all you want to do is just flash whoever is in danger, and make sure you don't let them die. Um, Normally we want to be using exchanges um, to buy time if we don't want to like let them like through a choke. Like if we're down like a person in second, for example, and their team is like trying to go in and disrespecting us while we're only down one person, we might call for an exchange. Company, come over here. We might
Oh,
try to
no,
like
no.
go for an exchange into them and choke or something,
Oh,
just to buy time and like make sure they don't like come in as these. Normally, like your demo and your scout are gonna be part of this Uber, but yeah, all you want to do in is like in a defensive exchange like this is just make sure no one gets in for free and everyone who's in, uh, kill them. And if they don't die because of an Uber flash, and that's good because that means there's less Uber there's less Uber time in their Uber. And in exchanges, the way you win an exchange is either your Uber lasts longer than theirs, aka if you flash less than them, or if you used if your Uber is gonna end like afterward. Did I already say that? I think I already did, but like either they flash too many or they used before you and you can use later, and then boom, your team is shinier for longer. It's awesome. The last way of using it sucks. If Ping would kindly go to blue team and bomb me, you'll see this from the enemy soldier perspective, just so you can see what it looks like. But Ping will go for a sack here.
wait, which one are you? You're
I'm
blue,
on
yeah.
second. I'm on blue second. So boom, I'm bad, and I dropped. Actually, I lied. Chat, guys. All right, hold up, guys.
Yo.
I'm excellent at this. Yeah. Hold up. Okay, come here. Okay, come here. You don't want to do that. You don't want to drop. All right, come back. Come back. So you get bombed. And you took a lot of damage. We call this a force. You forced because you took too much damage, and you don't want to die. You don't want to do what I just did and drop. That's bad for you. You don't do that. So yeah, you don't want that to happen. Normally, you wanna dodge or surf or whatever. We're gonna talk about that later when it comes to that because I want to talk more about the fundamentals first. But this is those are ways you're gonna be playing Uber and stuff. General things to just think about in an Uber. Try not to flash literally everyone, especially if they're just not in danger. Only flash to people that are like close to you. And I would even say if they're like not taking any damage, you don't have to flash them until they take damage. But don't just use and then wait for someone to get like 2 HP before flashing, because Uber, well, it makes you invincible. You know, it means that you don't take any damage, and if you can mitigate as much damage as possible from with your Uber, then that is better than saving someone from a last minute rocket when they are already like 10 HP and like they're not gonna do anything after the Uber. Normally after the Uber, it's a post fight. It's a post where things happen after the Uber ends. Either you lost a lot of people and you're gonna get absolutely rolled and bombed, or you guys are winning and then you guys like got some sort of positioning off of this. Either you got the medic, you got a point, or whatever. So it's very important to keep your team healthy in that way as well, for the post fight. We talked about, I kind of like mentioned a little bit briefly about just like, you know, it is being recorded. But yes, I like mentioned a little bit about how like Uber ad like push kind of works. I just had like, oh, use on your demo and then they're gonna do the thing where they do the thing and they jump. Yes, very basically every single time you want to do an Uber, if you have your demo, you want them to jump in because they will take no damage because they're invincible, and it's very cool. Normally they take like around 60, 50 damage on a sticky, more if they use two stickies. But yeah, with your Uber, it mitigates that, which lets demo actually sticky jump. Normally, demo can sticky jump all the time if they want to. Soldiers are only reserved for that because demo does not have gunboat. So they if they only took like 10 damage from stickies, they would be doing most of the space. But they're not because they're gonna take 70 damage. That's bad for you. So that's why for Ubers they can take advantage of that invincibility to be able to you know catch people players.
Mhm.
Also, yell at your demo to use katana if your P scout dies too. But if your P scout's like perfect and doesn't die, then they're free to run the frying pan. But yeah, basics of the demo Uber. They're gonna say, "Doc, use on me," and then they're gonna put a sticky down. You use on them, two stickies, whatever. They're gonna go flying. I have a scout, and then I'm gonna go flash them afterwards, so they don't die again. And then they all explode. And that's why demo is very good in an Uber because they are the best class at catching the most players with their sticky. Because this class is also busted. You don't always want to go for scout demo Ubers. Sometimes we call things like double scout Uber, or even just like take a soldier in here because your demo is too slow or they're on the other side of the map and like it's okay. So there are different calls in those certain places. Um, just the most important is that you're flashing both of your players basically in the Uber. Um, scout like double scout Ubers like work differently, but that's you're gonna experience how they work as you play the game. And yeah, we talked about building. That's enough. Your soldier can also build with the escape plan. If they didn't know, yeah, because they just basically don't get healed. So every class in this game can build Uber, and every class that you have in your Sixes arsenal can build Uber. So yes, if you don't have your scout and your demo needs to trap something, then your soldier is also a good candidate. If your demo has traps or whatever and they're good now, then they might be able to they might be able to build while your soldier like gets buffed and like does space.
You want to talk
Now,
about the Vital question?
yeah, the what thing?
The Vital question?
The Vitasol question.
Yeah, yeah, it's a chat. It's chat.
Val, we're not talking about the Vitasol.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't use the Vitasol because that shit's dead in the ditch. But yeah, it's the same reason like for everyone else. The reason why you don't use the Vita Saw is the same reason why you don't use the Uber Saw is because you're basically never gonna get a melee gun. Especially not melee kill. So like, well, yes, if you do get like like enough Uber to like make a difference on Vita Saw and you do it consistently, then why the frick not? But you also lose like 13 HP or something, or like 15 HP, and that kind of is a lot of HP to be honest for a medic. It's a difference between two well placed rockets and one like okay rocket and one well placed rocket. True, you're right, Val. You're right.
Yo, I kind of fuck with this. This is kind of tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Now, after what to pay attention in general when you're just playing the game and not just like your mechanics. All of these things that I just talked about are eventually going to be second nature for you. The healing, whoever needs to be healed, the arrowing, and when to use levers and stuff like that. But this is what should be in the forefront of your mind once you're able to do that and you have enough like mental bandwidth. Because medic takes a lot of mental bandwidth. So, match HUD, we'll say it again. Very important. It tells your team health. Depending on your HUD, you should get a HUD that shows your team health. If that's much like if you don't have one that shows it, but I'm pretty sure all of them do, or almost all of them.
Yeah, most actually.
I think so. Yeah, you can see who's dead and who isn't on either team. This is going to be very helpful for your team in general to make decisions, but for you in particular, it is for you so you can see if their medic is dead, so you have Uber ad or whatever, or to see when they respawn. I'm always looking at the matchup when I'm dead, unless like my team is going for a clip or something, which in that case I cheer them on. But otherwise, I'm always looking at the matchup to see when the medic spawned. It is very important to look at the matchup. From there, you can see your team health. Normally you are reserved to more so like the calls that are based off of your team's health, whether we need to retreat or not. Your defensive calls are very important for your team. So your team can't exactly look at each other's health all the time because they're too busy shooting people, but because you don't have to aim at anyone as much, because your medigun very good, very good thing about the medigun is that you can just like aim at someone, you can just kill them, and you can just look around, and then they stay there forever, and it's awesome. They stay there, so you're able to look around a lot, which also means you don't really need to aim, uh, like consistent. It doesn't mean that don't hit the kovacs or whatever because like crossbow aim is very important, but it means you're gonna have less like chances to aim. But with this, there's less focus on that. So you know you can think about your team's health. How much health they have. Whether we might just be like straight up losing a fight in the health department, but they're like not noticing. You're like, all right, guys, we gotta retreat or like get healthy or whatever. Like get an arrow or something. So
Mhm.
very good for you to do that. Your pocket scout or your demo or whoever is main calling is gonna be mainly focused on the offensive side of like the positioning of the whole team. You just need to think about your health. Um, yeah. Never lose check of your combo. It happens sometimes, but try to make it happen as least as possible. Your combo is your demo and your scout. Maybe your pocket soldier if they just want to stick around with you. But yeah, you're gonna be mainly sticking with them. Mainly your scout because he is the most important class. That's not the right phrasing. He is the class that will be defending you the best uh, from bomb, which is your biggest threat. Um, your biggest threat will be soldier bombs, which will come from the air, which is why I like to tell team medics to look up and have their cross replacement be roughly like higher than most players. This is in CS. You're not going to be going for headshots, so especially you. So looking up is very good. Looking around is very good. Looking see like kind of anticipating bombs and whatnot is very good. Solo might be going like very high here, and I and I don't see it. I'm just like looking around this way, so it's very good for you to look up. It's not only for your peace cut. Always for you, because it's easier to dodge damage when you can see it. Obviously. And finally, because everyone wants to kill you, no matter what div, you are going to be scared the whole time. So I like you. I want to be talking more about position in detail later, but I did want to say, in particular, just to pay attention. Always be like wary of what chokes could be dangerous. Uh, right now we are standing. If you want to come to grass, we are standing in grass. The biggest threat is gonna be from in front of us, but we wary because people might be going through IT and could be going behind us. This does not mean you should be looking back the whole time, looking around like all the time, and just be paranoid the entire time. But it means that if we don't see six players in front or whatever for whatever reason, then there might be someone behind. So we gotta be afraid of that. This should reflect on your positioning, which I'm gonna talk about right now. You should be the furthest away from the enemy as much as possible. You don't want to just be in front of your peace cat or whatever, just being like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna kill you," because you're not gonna kill them. They're gonna kill you, and you're gonna die, or you're gonna drop because you're bad like. So it's harder for them to kill you the further away you are. Crazy how that works. With this, we are talking. I wanted to mention something with a medigun. You want to extend your beam range as much as possible. So normally your beam, you can click on someone from a certain range. I can click you like around like here or something. I don't know. But your max range extends further than how much you can like when you start like when you start basically your starting beam range is not as long as your overall beam range. Like you can be further away than you can click on something, which is why I can just like look at ping the whole time and I can like break the beam. But yeah, this is it. You can be very away from your team and you can still be healing them. So it's very good. And lastly, this is kind of like like a post thing with the main calling lecture. I don't know what Vanny talked about exactly, but something that we like to mention as medics is what can I say? Once it's your positioning when you want to Uber, you don't want to break your beam from your scouts. You don't always know when you want to Uber, but ideally you should, which is why your scout should be making calls like, "Oh, get ready to Uber here," or "We might need to use here." So once a call like that happens, I like to stay closer to my scout, so I don't like break the beam range at all. That doesn't always mean you need to be like right next to them, but it does mean you need to be a bit closer, just so you make sure not to break beam and not just like Uber them and then like actually not use them and then they just like die. So yeah, make sure you're not just accidentally breaking the beam when they want to use. And that means for every main caller, please make calls for your team about or for your medic like I wanna use here. Don't just be like all right use and then your medic's like what the freak I'm already like over here and then you die. And last, not really like position, but in general, because your scout is very good at defending you. If you have no scout, if your team scouts are dead, uh, be scared. It might be the pipe god. It might hit every air shot. That means if you're Torque, but if you're not him, then your medic might have a hard time, and as you as a medic might have a hard time, which means you might want to be further back or whatever, or get ready for, some sort of dodge or like a bomb that might come at you that is not going to be so easy to dodge because there won't be getting shot up by a scout the whole time. There are situations where you're going to be pushing without a scout, either like they're just like down everyone or whatnot. um, yeah, like maybe like down everything and they just you just have like four people and they only have like one person. That person might still be able to get you if you're down a scout. So just be aware of that, play a little more defensively. If your demo wants to like put sticks behind you, then hell yeah, they're like the goat for that. But yeah, as as my fellow coach likes to say, like when you're an ad, what does the team want to do? What is their win condition? The enemy team is to kill you. So be scared. Sometimes you don't always gonna want to be scared though. By that I mean you should be scared positionally, but you might be the goat, or you might hype yourself up. Because when time comes, you will need to dodge a rocket or like dodge shots or whatever. You won't always just be in the loving arms of your team as they just do everything for you and you just win the game like that. Sometimes you're gonna be in the battlefield getting shot at the whole time, and you need to be able to dodge things. So if Pink wants to go to blue now to talk about stuff. Actually, you should be on medic if you want to talk about this a little bit more, because I'd rather them look at the medic side of things. Why am I on base jump? I'm
Alright,
on
bro.
soldier. So there's two things in the game. Two things in the game. No, there's a lot of things in the game. Actually, there's like a lot of assets. There's two main ways of dealing damage in this game. We're gonna talk about pyro. He's not here yet. You have rockets or projectiles, and you have hit scan, which is your shotguns and stuff. Against rockets, they have travel time. They won't get to your target instantly. So I might shoot a ping right now, and she can just dodge it pretty easily because it won't go instantly. So that's the basis for dodging a rocket. Normally, as a soldier, if someone is moving, I like to lead my shot and see like where the medic is going. So if you just want to go like right the whole time, I'm gonna aim here, right, and then to try and catch the medic or whatever. I'm gonna aim more. I'm gonna lead my shot. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what us medics need to take advantage of. Because now, if Ping wants to be a little bit more unpredictable, then I might just miss my rockets just because I'm trying to lead the shot, and then they just go the other way. They say no, actually I'm not going to. It's very good for bombs because a lot of bombs like to lead their shot a lot more because medics like to backpedal. So a good way to dodge is just actually just like just dodge my rocket. I'm pretty sure you have like going forward is very good because soldiers like to just shoot very far in front. So that's a good way of dodging a rocket. It's not always going to be very good, especially if their whole team is there and whatnot. Which in that case you might resort to a surf, where instead of going forward, damn, it's over. Hey,
Yo, I'm actually chopped.
I'm not the only one. So I'm just gonna like shoot it early, I guess. So you might not want to just go in front. So instead, um, you might want to go for a surf. Even like going in front, that's fine. Actually, like whatever. A surf might be very important to go away from the enemy team, or to dodge, like to get to a better position. You can even surf like high ground stuff like that. So like you can do a lot with this. It's the fundamentals of um it's the fundamentals of just rocket jumping in general, like to know like where you're supposed to go. So even if you're not playing soldier, I recommend that you learn like a little bit of rocket jumping. You don't have to like learn like even the basics. I just want you to learn like how to air strafe, or like when to jump when a rocket hits you, because it is very important for you to know this so you can surf enemy damage and look cool as hell while your coach releases you because you just dodged like the whole world. So yeah, that's projectiles. It's gonna be a little bit different for demo, but the same thing. The main thing with demo is just the main thing with demo is that they have pipes, and they have pipes are very much like rockets, where they're just gonna be directs or whatnot, but stickies because they stick to the ground. They stick to the ground. They'll just like stay there, so it's a lot easier to you know dodge this. That's just kind of standing here, but he does have 8 of them, so you're not gonna dodge everything. The thing about stickies is that they have an arm time of some sort. They won't dead instantly. I'm gonna start holding mouse too, and I'm just gonna shoot. That's how long it takes me as a demo to detonate that sticky. So they won't just instantly fly towards you. So I can even like shoot a sticky right now at ping, and it wouldn't hit them because she just like moved before and the sticky didn't get there in time. This is why the most hate being close range and why they love like mid to long range because then they need to aim like or like closer. Now, this is gonna pertain to scout for hit scan, but I'm gonna be on soldier because I like but shotguns they do a lot of damage up to like 100 and whatever the hell. Uh, those are scatter guns. Shotguns have technically like a different damage, but you have a lot of damage as a scout. So medic, be afraid still because apparently bullets are the same as rockets. They just deal like roughly the same. Um, so for scouts, it's not a projectile. You can't just like know like when the shot's gonna hit you. They're just gonna shoot at you, and then you gotta dodge that. So I like to the classic AD to trip them up, whatnot is good. Some scouts might be a little more patient and might just shoot you a little later when you're not doing your juke. But I'm bad because I don't play scout. So it's like a fighting game at this point when it comes to dodging like hit scan is that you dodge this way, then you like juke the other way and this timing, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna wait for that juke, and then next time you're gonna be like, actually I'm gonna do that later or earlier or something. So yeah, if you dodge before in casual, then you got that. But it is I like to explain it for everyone just because it is very powerful as a medic to be able to live as much as possible, like through a bomb or whatever. And your team will love you for it, and you can carry games like that. Something as well from I guess both projectiles and hitscan is that you know hitscan can't shoot you like through walls or whatever, or through teammates. Projectiles might be able to, but the point I'm trying to make is there's teammates that will take the bullet for you quite literally if they must. Your scout especially. So against scouts in particular, it's good to stay behind your scout or your teammate because they can't just shoot you through it. They need to like shoot the scout or like find a timing. That wouldn't happen for projectiles if they're using splash damage, but it will happen. You'll be able to dodge like directs. And I didn't put extra notes because I'm bad apparently. Damn. Oh, that's fine.
One thing to note, by the way, whenever like you're trying to dodge and stuff like that, is being your scout. If your scout's nearby you, like let's say, I was about to say, hold on, you just hop on my
Go
team.
on. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Your scout gives you extra bonus movement speed. So especially against like 1v1s against a scout, something I will do is I will try to juke around with my own scout speed. And you can honestly switch it off. You can go for a bow. You can switch back onto their scout. Stuff like that. It basically just mixes up your movement so you never have the same movement speed whenever you're trying to fight someone. I also do that against soldiers. Whenever I know like a better soldier's trying to bomb me, I will just grab my scout's movement speed and just literally move out of the way out of the rocket.
Yes.
So that's just
Yes.
something
No.
else to keep in.
It's just like much easier to dodge a rocket with like the higher scout speed than just like your normal. Which is why demos hate getting bombed and scouts love getting bombed, and why medics uh I hope you guys learn how to love to get bombed because then hopefully you can dodge it. You'll be awesome. For that, after that concludes all my notes that I have on hand. Um, though I did forget to say some things in particular, like config things, just like stuff like that. One thing that people were talking about in chat, I recommend you make your mini beam toggle like beam, and not just like hold it. I used to play with holding the mouse down. Horrible experience. Don't do that. On toggle, you just click on your guy once, and then boom, you're beaming forever. If you wanna stop beaming, you just click off wherever you want, and then boom, you're no longer beaming. When do you wanna do that? Sometimes you wanna do that. It's fine. It happens. So it's good to keep that in mind. Oh, chat vines. I never use them. Ping has them because she likes them. I never use them, and I don't think they're like extremely important. But if you want them, that's okay.
I would say
Hey,
the
yeah,
only reason they're important is I will talk about this like just really quick is that
Yeah.
people do have a hard time hearing me, and I am kind of quiet, and I also don't scream whenever I'm getting bombed. So I have had P scouts in the past that are like, "Yo, can like you please get these chat binds for this reason?" And that's why I use them. They also help just in the more like casual sense. Like if you're pugging and you don't really feel like talking a whole lot, if you just use your Uber ready bind, your teammates know. Uber used, your teammates know that yo, the Uber is used.
Yeah. Yeah. For bind as well. Your X8 is your fake call. You probably want to bind that to something else. I'm a maniac and I still use X8 the whole time, but you can change that with what would it be like a voice menu 1.8 I think. This
That sounds right.
if you put this, that should be your medic fake call bind. As you know, as much as people like in higher division like can't just like Uber check pretty well, like almost to like a 2% like difference. It still trips them up when it comes to you know whether we have right now or not because we're never gonna be perfect. So I like fake calling if we're at this ad and it's been a while and you know uh it's we're at 80% and I'm just like maybe they'll like think we build super hard and I'm just gonna fake call right now. Maybe they'll get scared. It's happened to us a lot, like me as a player as well. Like we just get fooled by that because we're never not everyone's gonna be perfect. Like it is very powerful. I think. On that note as well, um, normally your medic says I am fully charged or whatever the hell, but we all know in this game that it's very funny to cancel voice lines with each other, like put the Spencer here or whatever the hell. But like that means we can also mask the medic screaming, "Yo, I have Uber, please bomb me." Uh, call. You can use whatever you want, either like go 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 or whatever. Um, I like to just use the call medic bind, um, because it's the closest one. So if we wait here for 40 seconds, your time starts now. Then hopefully get Uber in time, and I can do the thing without screwing it up.
Or you can be fancy like me and my queue actually just cycles through all the voice lines. So
You're a
then the
fucking
other team
nerd.
never knows. Yo, bro, never let them know your next move.
True, 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 true. It is true. Like
Don't
when
play.
your guy just starts saying like medic the whole time, they're like, yeah. But yeah, I just called.
See?
I just like canceled it right now. They don't know. They might still hear the fucking engine revving the we have oh my god like
Mm.
sound, but it is much quieter. The medic just screaming. On that note as well, I didn't talk about this, but medic is not only for your teammates. It is also very good for you because ping can see me through walls if I'm close enough. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to demonstrate this exactly. Just like if I just keep
actually, I might
calling
not
for
be able to.
Uber.
My config might be too shit.
You fucking. So basically, funny medic bubble happens like over their head. Every class is gonna have that. So I can
Wait,
locate people, walls, whatnot,
if I go on
and
my
it's
actual map, I might be able
yeah,
to. I actually don't know what my active radar is.
my sister in Christ. But yeah, like that like bubble kind of goes through walls, especially if people need healing. There is a threshold of like when a certain player like a certain like a teammate gets like this health, it like auto calls it for you. That's essentially what this is doing. So they're calling for medic. It's very good for your teammates to help locate you, and it's easy for them to it's easy for you to locate them. So that's why when you like just look at a lot of the VODs or whatnot, like everyone's just spamming the hell out of medic like a lot because we just want to like know where we are. And that should be everything I have written down and things I just like thought of right now. I don't know if Ping has anything more to say, or if you guys want to start asking more questions that haven't been answered already.
Okay, I will talk about this really quick. This is like probably the biggest thing, and honestly, for all you who stayed this long, this is like the biggest improvement I've seen. Whenever I tell new medic mentors, not new medic mentors, but like new medic students I take, is the biggest advice I can give you guys is, you know how we talked about sacks, how like okay yo like that's like the timing where you know like yo, you're gonna get sacked on. They're gonna try to kill you, stuff like that. There is two timings in the game that actually happens: transition periods and whenever the enemy medic dies. So what I tell people is, yo, enemy medic dies. What I call out personally to my team is I'm like, yo, bunker the med, because we know, yo, they're just gonna start attack for me. That is the other team's only win con there, is if they kill me. So bunker the medic. We're gonna kill those feeders, and then we're just gonna push in and win. Easy. Transition periods is the second thing. This applies to every class. So for my demo players, soldier players, medics, scouts, anything. Transition periods are whenever you're trying to move from one point to another. Like, let's say we're moving from mid and second. We're trying to pressure through here. My med's getting through with me. This is a super good time for them to sack into me. All right, come here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, let's say you're pushing in, I come in. This is a good time for a soldier to try to sack into me because we only have so many players in here. There's only so many people in, and so this is a super good time for their team to try to collapse on us and try to go for that pick. Try to get that force. Try to get picks off of us. Stuff like that. So just think about that. Next time you're scrimming, next time you're pugging, whatever. The transition periods are the times your med is going to die. That is the time we're going to use. That is the time sacks are going to happen. Transition periods are whenever shit hits the fan. So just be ready during those periods. That is when you guys really need to be thinking. Whenever you're just sitting there going for a sack, you don't really have to think until the counter sack's coming. But transition periods, you have to think. You have to be on your toes. You have to bait. You have to be ready. So that's probably like my biggest piece of advice as a medic player. And the thing that really took me from like dying like 12, 15 times every game to dying like single digits every game is just thinking about your transition periods and being like, okay, yo, they're going to come for me. So that's like my biggest advice for medics.
Yep. Something that she hammered home to me as well when we reviewed a few things of mine. I was very bad at this.
It's okay. We're all kind of bad. I'm still really bad.
Yup. Everyone's bad until you get to invite, and then you're like, okay. Also, thank you, Freeman, for the bind voice menu thing, because I didn't know if it started from 0 or 1. I know the menu started from 0 to 1. The first. No, we're not.
um, okay.
Anyways, any questions now that haven't been answered? If you already asked a question and we didn't answer it, or you didn't get it answered, then feel free to ask it again. Damn, everyone's studious and like knows everything and just doesn't need my help. I guess that you guys are good.
Yep, that's right. That's right. You're just a noob. What can I say?
True, true. Or we just explained we explained everything perfectly, and then there's no doubts or questions and whatnot.
I think so. And honestly, probably like the biggest thing like is that most people honestly don't have questions, and so they like play a scrim with the info now, and then they're gonna be like, ah,
Ah,
okay.
yes,
So if
yes.
that is the case, I know y'all can DM me about any questions pretty much anytime. I'm usually pretty active. I answer pretty much every DM. I don't know about Rui, but I'm pretty active.
Yeah, I hate everyone and I don't answer anything. No, I can I'm my DMs are open as well. I do require an extra. Please tell me why you're like asking me something. Don't just be like, hey. And I'm like, who are you? Like, hey, like I have a question or whatever, like about this or whatever. And then I was like, sure, I can answer it.
Mhm.
That's just good DM etiquette.
True. Not wrong.
Yeah. If no one has any questions, it's 8:31. We'll be good to close this. I think I'll like stay here for like maybe like 2 more minutes. But yeah.
Okay. I have to go give another review, but
Damn.
thank you everybody for tuning in. And thank you, Rui, for having me.
Yes. Thank you, Pink, for coming. It was very very glad I had you here. 'Cause,
It
Pink's
was
a
a
very
little
good friend of
scuffed.
mine. It was a little scuff there here and there, but like nothing about the notes. I hope. I hopefully gave good info.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Your info was honestly really good. As you can tell,
Thank you, Pink.
I had no notes since the very end.
Thank you, Pink. Thank you.
All right, bye, team.
Yes. Now I'll vibe while my stream keeps not working. But looks like pretty much everyone has left, so I will close this. Oh, I can just end it right now for everyone. Okay. Everyone say your goodbyes and whatnot. Then you should post your things in the chat. Then your brew you suck type of thing. You can find the video, I think, in the TF2CC Twitch channel, if I'm not mistaken, as a VOD, and I think they'll